You've probably eaten hundreds of apples in your life, but have you ever wondered what it takes to grow just one apple? Not the supermarket version, I mean the real story. From hand-pruned trees to precision irrigation, from bee-pollinated flowers to apples that travel oceans just to reach your dinner table. In New Zealand, apple farming is part science, part tradition, and part gambling with the weather. And some of these apples, they've been preserved for nearly a year without freezing and still tasted delicious. If you're still here, give me a like or just a dot in the comments, so I know I'm not telling a story all by myself. And now here we go. Every year, New Zealand's fertile orchards yield an impressive bounty of apples exported to over 80 countries. Behind every crisp bite lies a long journey, one that weaves together history, climate, precision farming, and global logistics. This is the story of how one of nature's simplest pleasures has become a pillar of a nation's agricultural identity. The origins of apple cultivation in New Zealand stretch back to the early 1800s, when missionaries and settlers first brought apple seeds and saplings to the islands. Since then, the country has developed a global reputation for producing high-quality apples with vibrant color, unique sweetness, and remarkable shelf life. The unique maritime climate, combined with volcanic soils and long sunlit days, gives New Zealand apples an edge few regions can match. In modern times, the journey begins in early spring when the land is carefully prepared for planting. Soil testing is conducted to balance pH and nutrients. Fields are leveled for drainage, and in some regions, windbreaks are planted years in advance to shield delicate trees from storms. Young apple trees are planted between August and October, depending on the region. Most commercial orchards use dwarf or semi-dwarf rootstocks that allow for higher density planting, up to 3,000 trees per hectare in some high-performance operations. Each tree is supported by a trellis or post and irrigated with a precision drip system. Though it may take 3 to 5 years for the first harvest, growers monitor tree health from day one. Pruning is done by hand to direct growth. In winter, skilled teams shape the canopy to ensure even light exposure, which affects color development later in the season. Pollination is a crucial stage. In late spring, thousands of hives are placed strategically throughout orchards. Honeybees visit each blossom, transferring pollen that will eventually produce the season's crop. Without them, yields would plummet. Water is life. Throughout spring and summer, orchards are monitored using soil moisture sensors and weather data. Farmers irrigate only when needed, optimizing water use and reducing stress on the environment. Each tree may require thousands of liters of water per season, but every drop is accounted for. As fruit forms in early summer, growers begin a process called thinning, removing some apples so that the remaining ones grow larger and more flavorful. It's a delicate balance between yield and quality. Some orchards will manually thin apples twice during a season. Come late February, apples begin to blush with color, but the work is far from over. Farmers monitor sugar content using refractometers, test pressure with penetrometers, and use visual scoring systems to determine optimal harvest windows for each variety. Harvest runs from March to May, and is one of the most labor-intensive periods in the agricultural calendar. Pickers are trained to handle fruit gently. A single bruise can downgrade an apple from premium export to juice grade. Specialized picking platforms, GPS-guided tractors, and real-time logistics apps help coordinate activity across hundreds of hectares. The apples are then trucked to pack houses, massive high-tech facilities where fruit is washed, dried, and sorted. Computer vision systems scan for defects. Apples are graded by size, weight, color, and internal structure. Some pack houses can process over 100,000 apples per hour. From there, apples are packed into trays or cartons, each labeled with traceability codes. The best are stored in controlled atmosphere rooms where oxygen is reduced and CO2 levels carefully maintained to slow ripening. This allows apples to stay fresh for up to a year without freezing. Shipping is a science. Pallets are loaded into refrigerated containers known as reefers and moved to ports. New Zealand's location means apples may travel 10,000 kilometers or more to reach Europe or Asia. Timing is crucial. Delays in customs port congestion or power outages can compromise entire shipments. Popular varieties include Royal Gala Fuji, Braeburn Jazz Envy, and Pink Lady. Each has its own ripening schedule and an ideal harvest window. Breeders continue to develop new cultivars with longer shelf life, improved resistance, and unique taste profiles. New Zealand's apple industry is worth over $900 million NZD annually. It supports thousands of jobs from orchard hands to scientist packers to exporters. The industry is also a pioneer in sustainability, using solar-powered pack houses, eliminating plastic packaging, and reducing pesticide use through integrated pest management. But challenges remain. Climate change brings unpredictable frost events, heavier rains, and sunburn risk. Labor shortages have led to calls for automation, and robotic pickers are now in testing. In export markets, New Zealand must compete with apples from the US, Chile, South Africa, and China, all while maintaining premium prices. Still, New Zealand apples continue to win fans worldwide for their clean, bright flavor and trusted quality. Every apple carries a story of early mornings, expert hands, quiet innovation, and a nation's pride in its land. The next time you enjoy a juicy bite, remember that apple may have begun its life thousands of kilometers away in a valley warmed by the southern sun, tended by generations of growers who know exactly what it takes to grow perfection one tree at a time.